Well, God, let me ask you, how did you meet, or how did you become Big Daddy Kane's educator? Because he's calling you his educator, his enlightenment.
Yeah, what happened, there was a show at the Apollo, I think it was 1989. I got the flyer, 1989. And what happened was, between the Apollo security and I think somebody in Kane's entourage or somebody in the audience, there was a disturbance. And the FOA, at that time, it was FOA.
So GOD hadn't informed yet?
Hadn't informed me, it was FOA. And we surrounded the staff of Kane. I escorted them outside. And that's how we got to be tight. And from then to now, we always had a good relationship. There was a couple of times, he picked me up, took me to a spot when he was looking for talent. I used to live on Woodcrest Avenue. He used to always tease me. Say, yeah, God, back in the day, I remember God used to drink a 40 and they started building and all that. So he picked me up in a limousine one night with Scoop and Scrap. Those are the two guys used to be with
dancers.
And his brother. We went out there, popped some, we had some 40s of old English. And we was drinking in the limo, going to Jersey to go look at some acts that he had to deal with. And we building him, going through the math and lessons and everything with him. And he was just cracking up. Another time he was doing an album, I think it was the Prince of Darkness album. And I'm gonna send it to you.
Yes,
I'll send it to you. It's the Prince of Darkness album, and he wanted a lesson, right? He wanted a lesson, and my man Lord Dumont didn't want to give it to him unless he go down there and talk to him before he give the set to him. So we went down into the studio, and that's when Lord Dumont met Big Daddy Kane, and we building about that in the studio.
So Lord Dumont is not Dumont YD. This is
Lord Dumont.
Okay.
He used to be up here. He moved down he down to Virginia with his family.
Okay.
So been in a relationship with Kane ever since then. We made donations when the school caught on fire. One time there was a video store right across the street on 127th Street. I was going to the store over there. And it just so happened he was there. And we were talking and everything. He said, yo, what's going on? I told him what was happening, school burned down. He said, what? He said, come on, let's take a look at it. So we went over, looked at the school, and saw where it was messed up. It was really messed up.
This is the first fire?
Yes, the first fire. So he told me, he said, listen, meet me downtown, call me tomorrow, meet me downtown. I'm gonna give you some money for the school. I said, okay. I called him, met up with him, and if I'm correct, he gave me $2,000. With that money, we bought some material, lumber, from a lumber store on 125th Street. We spent all the money on the supply that we needed to get to school. I found a receipt somewhere in my archive. I found a receipt and I found a letter that they gave me the money. You know, another time.
He wrote a letter.
No, his company
wrote the letter.
There was another time he donated money, and they wrote a letter. He got some kind of award or something, and he donated $1,000, and that went towards the school. Those things that, you know, I'm talking about it. But he used to come by the school. I used to bring him by the school. We used to meet up. Say, yo, I'm gonna go by the school. We go by the school. All depending who was there. And he said there was a couple of times he came by the school, but most time he got any understanding about anything, he got it from me. And if you look at the book, the third book that Star Mel wrote,
Righteous Way?
The Righteous Way, the third book he wrote, there's an interview in there of me and Big Daddy Kane, separate. And that's when he tells his story that if he would say that anybody was his enlightenment, it would be me, because of the time that we went by the school and the time that he got basic understanding about about various things. So he would say, I'm his enlightenment.
You know, because a lot of entertainers that were influenced by this don't have an educator or an enlightener. A lot of times they got it just by, you know, being around, but
they got exposed.
They got exposed, but they didn't get all of it. So they got pieces of it, you know, and then now with the internet, you know, it's like they get it linked, but not have any. Say maybe have some knowledge, not a lot of knowledge, some knowledge, and then no understanding.
Same thing with Rakim. When I used to work with Rakim. I used to be
He actually said it in his book. His book that he didn't want to have an enlightenment.
Who, Rakim?
Rakim said I didn't want to have an enlightenment because he didn't want to sound like something like that.
Exactly. Well, when I used to work with him, his two sons, I had always sat down with them with lessons and talked to them about lessons. We was on a bus and we was talking about various things. Even with him, when everybody else was asleep, me and Rakim would be up and we'd be talking. And we'd be going through, you know, certain lessons and certain things, but he never actually like capped it like we got it. You know, it wasn't a requisite for him because these are artists. See, artists don't have the time to study like that. You got to catch them when they're young and they're taking it like wise, intelligent. He got it. You know, when the poor righteous teacher, when they came around, they all had it. You know, so him getting into the industry the way he did, he showed and proved his teachings by what he know. Right. So he knows it. I met him again. I saw him again in Divine Sea when
I was out there. I was there.
Huh?
I was there with you.
Oh, okay.
Divine Sea, that's 2015.
Yeah, that's when they had me going off on a Law World Manifest at the bar. I normally don't drink, but I said, you know, I took a drink and they had me. I had some Hennessy and they had me open. I had my blue leather coat on with the fur on the car. I'll never forget that.
I think I recorded you that time.
Okay, it might have been you.
I think I did record you. That was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
I was speaking about a Law World Manifest.
Yeah. I said, okay, so that was the Hennessy that was talking to you saying.
Open me up. Because I wasn't going to speak, and then I started going off and saying, everybody keep talking about a Law World Manifest. You got to manifest your own world now. It's what your world is, a law infinite world manifest. What you manifesting, you know, and you know that went above people's heads at that time. But when you really look at it, you at a stage now where your world is manifesting. What work that you do is going to be manifested. Not what Allah did. Allah did His work. From 1960, when He went into the Mars, when they said that's when Christ appeared in the Mars. And you got 1961 when He showed His knowledge, the quality of His knowledge. 62, He expressed His wisdom. Then He went through the stages of mathematics. But what in 69 it said that's when He gave birth to His nation. But in 69 He got returned. So they quote lessons and talk about it, but they don't study it. And that's the problem with a lot of people in this nation. I was taught to study, not just to read and quote. I was taught to analyze and break down and study. You get a different understanding when you study things. I mean, Busta Rhymes. I met Busta Rhymes when he did When Disaster Strikes. They had a radio store. I forgot the name of the store. Here you go. They had a radio store up on Fordham Road. When the album dropped, I went up there. I met up with her, and I gave him a set of 120. I think later on in that same tour, it was on the radio station. I think it was Hot 97 at the time. I think Andrew Martinez was on Hot 97, and I called in. And they said, yo, there's somebody named Born Justice online. He said, oh, you know, who's that? Oh, that's the older guard. He just gave me a fresh crystal 120. Peace, God. Like that. And I met him again at the Million Man March. I got a picture of that. We was at the Million Man March. And then at the 50th anniversary, I met him, talked again, but I never got him. I need to get him, Rakim, and Kane in a room. So I can get them to be able to help out with this process, what I want to do at a law school in Mecca.
Yeah, that'd be peace.
You must do your own research, as I did.
if Mecca did this.